Hi, Sue Rose Minahan, Talk Cosmos host, and that's a Saturday night, Sunday night. It's turning into Sunday now, and we're going to have the Planet Buzz talk about the Pisces stellium. How is it in your chart, and how's it working tonight? This is Now Chat, and it's March 2nd, 2021, and it's an astrological commentary. And I'm talking about two iconic people and icons. And icons are symbols that we can, that have great meaning, that can share as a role model for people. And this particular two people, and I'm combining this idea, and it's really very pertinent in life today. Vernon Jordan, 85 years old, died yesterday on the 1st. And an icon is a person or thing representing a symbol of worthy of veneration, considered a set of beliefs or a way of life. And certainly he did. He represented it in every way of his life. And I'll bring up a chart, and it is accurate. It's an A.A. Rodin um, quality, so it can be looked at. He was a president of National Urban League and elevated it financially to $1 million during his reign. That was many years ago, and also expanded their role to help mitigate problems between the police and the community, the Black community, and also to expand voting. Very instrumental in this primary thing that we're still working on now, but he set the guidelines in that way. He was an American civil rights, which is an American civil rights group, and he's there an activist continually. Later, he went to business. He was an attorney and a business consultant and influential power broker. He sat on many boards, and he did this deliberately in order to break down color barriers. And for instance, ones that he would work on was, and when he was, and he was also the director of the United Negro College Fund in 1970, and he raised $10 million benefiting African American institutions. And he was a secretary of the NAACP. That is the first civil rights organization, the oldest one. It started in 1909 in New York with Black and white people that were horrified to the point that they needed to start an organization against African American violence of lynching, which had happened in Springfield, Illinois in 1908. Uh, when Vernon uh, moved, Jordan moved to the boards, he had been working. Well, he was a friend of um, the Xerox president, and the Xerox presidents pleaded with him, please to join the board. And from there on, he continued with many boards. He was on the uh, American Express, Xerox. Those are big enough by itself. But he was able to tap from being a leader of the civil rights movement to being a leader in business. And he never lost a commitment to racial equality. And if you look at his chart, you will see that he totally exemplifies this in the best sense of being a Leo. A Leo is one of full dignity. They manifest their highest forms, and they're very generous. And he certainly was. He mentored numerous people, as he'd been mentored by this Xerox uh, um, tycoon. And would have meetings and bring people in and show them, as he had seen, how to get jobs and be on boards and be influential. He's a total role maker and role model, as you can see more and more. He joined the Wall Street investment firm Lazard, and he had a dazzling successful career as a civil rights leader and then as a high-powered Washington lawyer. with business, politics, and the nonprofit world. It's just incredible. He has a long list of younger Black leaders whose careers he fostered as a father figure, including Mr. Walker, Mr. Chenault, and Ursula Burns, a former chief executive of Xerox and the first Black woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. The seeds of his growth were fantastic. You can see here that in his sixth house of work and organization, he has Jupiter and Mars conjunct. And that is one where the voice must be expressed. Yet he knew how so well to manifest that. It's square by in a sense, to his Mercury and that sun that which is also somewhat in a T-square to his ascendant. So that's energy that wants to manifest. So he used that thinking ability to speak and share. You can see a south node here. His death chart is really one to look at, and I think it's here, and I hope that does show. I want it to show, so I'm going to do it again here. And you can see that, gee, his moon and his sun were conjunct. They were unioned in this greater compassionate need to help people and life. His Mars, the transiting Mars was conjunct in ending life, in this instance, in Taurus of life. And his natal Pluto was exactly opposite transiting Pluto, which is attached to these nodes of another transmutation. And that was also, it, okay, there's so much in trying to translate this to you. Also, you could say that Venus and Neptune was a double signature. His Neptune opposite to the transiting Venus, and transiting Neptune opposite his Venus, of spiritual love, connection, of values, of compassion, of the highest sort. And it's also connecting to his natal uh, uh, tongue to Sue here. I'm so sorry, but Saturn, goodness. It's just so amazing how he could have chosen this time. Chiron, his natal Chiron, he exited. It was time of, you could say, of the diversity of being his communicating in some ways, but it is, Chiron died to save because of his own wound. And in death, it's often a figure. So it shows many, many ways how it showed at his death time. Now, this same chart, why in Dr. Seuss's, who wrote 60 books in 20 different languages, and now 6 of them are being pulled for being racist. Well, Dr. Seuss probably would have applauded this because he wanted to educate children, and it's for the purpose. It's been decided that books will teach children to read and reflect and mirror exactly who they are. So in many ways, like elevating this ability. And as you can see, Uranus in the death chart, at the death moment that it was in the news today, it's in the 7th house, elevating the philosophy of Dr. Seuss. Well, astrology is fascinating, and icons we need. Do check us out on Sunday, yes, with the Planet Buzz. And thank you so much. I'm trying to make this more appropriate as to connecting with you. And the ideas in life are great. And I'm going to work more on trying to connect it to the signs. We'll see how it goes. Life is always changing. So subscribe and comment. Tell me what you want, and I'll try to accommodate because we're learning. Everybody is learning, and education is the name of the game. We're in the nodes. Okay, enough. See you tomorrow. Thanks.